حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Shalom. Shalom. Peace.
ليش الواقع خلفك تواجه مش عارف بالموسيقى بنتوصل للجازف تكونش خايف مين انا يشد الراب انا بنحبس انا زي ما انا ما بتغير ولا بنفس تتغير معي بتغير معك تأذيني ما بنساك عندي حياة لازم اعيشها بعيد عن بلاك هي محسيبك من طريق زيت من المأساة كل انا شايفه واقف ضدي مش قادر انساه.
My name is Aziz, I'm Palestinian and I grew up here in East Jerusalem. My earliest memory of the conflict is watching TV and seeing people throwing stones and going myself out and throwing stones the next day because I thought this is what you're supposed to do. Except instead of throwing stones at Israelis, I ended up throwing stones at Palestinians because I didn't know the difference at that time. I actually stoned my neighbors. My effect of the conflict, how I was affected mostly by it, is through my brother who was killed when I was 10 years old by Israeli soldiers. And so I grew up for a long time anti-Israel until I had some transformation of becoming a peace activist. My transformation happened through going to study Hebrew. After high school, I needed to learn Hebrew to live in Jerusalem. Without it, you can't really function, and I refused to study it growing up. And when I went to study Hebrew, everybody in my class was a Jewish immigrant to Israel. And that was the first time I met Jews who weren't soldiers or settlers, where you could meet them as human beings.
We come from different places, but we're the same. You see it in our faces. We love this game. We love this game, though it's not a game at all. We feel anticipation, we've got that burn. We've come for competition, we've come to learn. And from each other, we learn about ourselves. Everybody's ready, we take the field. Our hearts are strong and steady, it's all so real. And this field of playing now becomes a field of dreams.
Our team, once we established it, it's owned by the supporters. Consciously, it's anti-racist. There will never be any racist chance.
And part of it is a project that we're doing called the Ligat Shchonot, the League of the Neighborhoods.
The Neighborhood League.
The Neighborhoods League, which is a league of young kids from East and West Jerusalem, Arabs and Jews play together, play football together. For not just for football, it's important for us in Jerusalem as people who live in the city and people who live in this country. Who has so many conflicts between Arabs and Jews. It's important for us.
The Home of Flowers School is founded by my father almost 30 years ago. My father believed that violence yields only more violence, and the only possible way to solve the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is to create a new generation of Palestinians and Israelis who believe in peace and coexistence. And his idea, if we bring children from early on together and teach them beyond fear and stereotyping the other, they will be the next generation who will impose peaceful resolution to the conflict. There have been attacks to our home. There have been people declaring my father as collaborator and attacking him personally, and campaigns to exclude him from the society. I think it took a while before the society understands the difference between non-violence and collaborator or being passive for the occupation or having passive resistance. It wasn't like either black and white, it's either this or that, you know. At one moment, yes, it was complicated for me to understand the issues, but as a teenager, to tell you also, I was shot and arrested by the Israeli soldiers when I was 13 years old. It wasn't easy for me. I was living in these circumstances, in this culture where patriotism is you have to fight. A peacemaker is not patriotic. That was very difficult to imagine that someone who calls for peace and coexistence to be patriotic. It's much easier for people to turn to violence than to choose non-violence as a strategy to deal with various issues in their lives. Having my children growing up in this atmosphere where Palestinians and Israelis together, for me it is very important that they grow up to see human beings. For me it's very important that they see things as it is, as they are. If you look as these children have a pressure, stress. They live all their lives, 80% of them are from refugee camps. They do not have these opportunities to play or to connect with each other in a proper way. So that training itself doesn't include only football training, but there is also coaching like life skills, like how to deal with conflict among themselves in a non-violent way, how to empower them and to build vision for the team themselves, how to address issues in the community. So the training is more than only providing them with the skills or opportunity to play soccer.
ليش الواقع خايف تواجه مش عارف من الموسيقى بنتواصل للجاذب تكونش خايف مين انا ايش قلت الراب انا بنحبس انا زي ما انا ما بتغير ولا بنفس تتغير معي بتغير معك تأذيني ما بنساك عندي حياة لازم اعيشها بعيد عن
Mifaro wants to make a change, a social change. That is what the former owners of Hapoel Tel Aviv Football Club, that was their vision. They took some coaches to Kalanswa village in central Israel, and they took 30 kids and they said, this is the deal. We'll give you 2 hours of soccer, you'll give us 2 hours of homework. And that's how it started. I think one of the most inspiring programs that Mifalot runs is a Know Your Neighbor program. Arabs and Jews get to meet each other in tournaments, and also Palestinians and Israelis get to meet each other in tournaments 4 times a year. And the most amazing and significant thing about those tournaments is they not play against each other, they play together.
The Israeli society is not homogenic. It's heterogenic with so many communities and so many different people and from different roots. And when you come and speak about special needs people, everybody has the same opinion suddenly. Everybody wants to help them. And I think it's the biggest change the Israeli society can have, still having. Okay, it's not perfect, but yeah, it's one of the keys for a healthy society.
You know, as part of our human rights approach, we work with every child. And if there are children with special needs, we do not exclude them, but also we work with them. You cannot compare this situation here to other countries. I think people see a child with a special need, some families see that as punishment from God. They exclude them from the society. It is not easy. Mostly the services for children with special needs here are restricted or limited to medical services.
Here in Israel, I think more and more organizations are starting to be aware about the power special needs people with disabilities have. And the Game of Life is a program that we do with kids, with youth, with grown-ups. We bring a coach once a week for the team, and they play soccer together. You can see it on the field, you can see it in practice. They teach them skills out of the field. If it's leadership, if it's hygiene, if it's punctuality. They talk with them about life. How does the game affect their life? How can they learn from the game and bring it back to their life?
למה דווקא באחים שלי ניסיתי כמה דברים, שחייה, פרק כדורסל, ולא... הייתי בכמה חוגים. פעם הייתי בשחייה, וניסיתי כמה חוגים, אבל לא התאהבתי כמו שיש לי איזה אחד שיש לי נגיד אימון משחק, אני באותו יום, מה זה נרגש? כאילו זכיתי $1,000,000, באמת. באמת, עכשיו, מחר יש טורניר, אני יודע שהיום בלילה אני לא ישן, לא ירדם עד שיגיע הבוקר. רק שתדעי, אני לא יכול, כדורגל זה הכל בשבילי. זה יותר משחייה, יותר הכל.
מה מיוחד לגבי כדורגל בשבילך?
כדורגל זה חיים שלי.
This is life.
אני הולך למשחקים.
He likes to go to games.
כן.
מה מיוחד? מה מרגש אותך? מה מרגש אותך במשחק? או כשאתה משחק?
רוצה להיות יותר חזק.
He feels like he's stronger.
רוצה שירים טובים.
יותר מה?
רוצה כוח ביד.
Oh, it's strength, but from muscles, feels he's getting stronger.
How do you feel if you got taken away?
איך היית מרגיש אם לא היה כדורגל?
זה לא טוב.
Not good.
לא גוד.
No good.
So I'm 23 years old, and how can I manage to coach guys like that? I mean, it's difficult, it's not that easy. But I have like a special connection with them, and I feel so great doing that. And I think you can learn a great lesson from my experience. I mean, for example, we had a lot of tournaments with my special need team. And most of the other teams that we were playing against, they were like our Arab teams from all the country. And I was amazed to see how my team, who's only Jews in the team, like really cooperate with the Arabs team. And even if we lost a game, they shaked hands in the end of the game. And me too, I came to the coaches, the Arab coaches, and we had so good relationships between us. We always smiled, and soccer is a huge tool, and soccer can conquer conflict all across the world.
The tournament, the game is going to be held in Bakar Gharbia, which is an Arab village in central Israel. Traditionally, the yellow card is a warning card. The red card is get out of the field. And the green card is something special, something positive, and unique for Mifalot.
It's amazing because I tell them in the beginning of the year that what they require to do to get a green card, and they just think about it all the time, and they just do it. They help each other. If one of the players just fall on the ground, they run immediately to help him because they know that he will get a green card, but also because they used to think that way.
We want no more wars where we want to spread chest. We want no more gas rich and the poor and the riches. No more of the races, clinches, switches. The major key to our misery.
السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام يا حبيبي. معكم اليوم زي السلام. انا عندي حلم ما اقدر اغير السيستم. شوفوا هالفيلم حياتنا قاعدة ترسم. بطلنا نتمتم حياتنا مش راح نسلم. بنرفع اصبعنا الوطني لكل الحكم. شو بده يصير لو كلنا بطلنا نستعمل السلاح؟ شو بده يصير لو كلنا عشنا هون في سلام؟ بقبضة ايدي نفسي دم كل الجيوش وطهر العالم من الاوغاد والوحوش. مشاكل من كل شكل ملفوف بحاولنا نخصم. حامل بيدي الكوفية بدعي ربي يجيب النصر. جيجي الاستقلال ونحرر للبلاد. ندمر الحواجز ونهد الجدار. واقدر ارجع اقعد بالارض تبعت سيدي. انا جيتي وهذه هي بلادي. مش رح اطلع من هون حتى لو على جوزتي. ابقى على صوتي سلامات لكل اخواتي.
We want no more walls, so we want these bridges. We want no more gaps between the poor and the rich. No more of the races, claims, switches. Major key to set us free.
שמתי גול, היה לי הרגשה טובה אחרי המשחק, לפני המשחק, היה לי טוב. היה לי טוב לנצח, רציתי לנצח אותה.
ממשיך, אני ביקשתי להמשיך, והם הסכימו. רק שתדעי, אני מוכן גם עכשיו לשחק. אני בכלל לא עייף, בכלל אני לא עייף בכלל. אני לא יכול לשחק מהבוקר עד הערב, לא מטייף בכלל, אני חולה על זה, באמת, אני מח.
We have team in Jerusalem of mental disabled people, with 2 players of the team are gonna finish a coach's course, and they're gonna train teams next year of mental disabled kids. They are adults, and I think it's finished the circle of being a player. You become a coach, and if you'll be a coach of kids with the same disability, I think it's wonderful of course for the coach, and of course for the kids. I think it's one of the best ideas Mifalot can apply.
You know, I totally believe one day we'll look back and we will say we had a conflict and a lot of wars and hatred between the people. And I have no doubt that one day Palestine and Israel will reach that phase. I don't know still how many people have to die, and I don't know how much bloodshed should flow before we have that. But I have no doubt that we'll reach that, because people are also getting more aware that there is no alternative. The only possible way here is to live and coexist together.
Most of the times they would say, no, it's impossible. Whether it's Ireland, whether it's Mozambique, whether it's South Africa, a lot of people thought it's not going to get solved. It takes working hard at it, and it takes people who stop being indifferent and doing something to make a difference. And a few people doing that, I think it is possible.
In my vision, the impact that soccer will be a tool for the therapists, for the government to treat those people. Through the soccer, some of the places they must train with Arabic, with the Palestinians. And I think this is one of the impacts of Mifalot that work with the both sides. The conflict itself, I don't feel it too much with special needs. So I wonder who has the special needs when you speak about the conflict.
Take my hand, step by step, come on and walk with me, don't be afraid. Open your heart and see it how it meant to be.
Take my hand, step by step, come on and walk with me, don't be afraid. Open your heart and see it's how it's meant to be. Take my hand, step by step, come on and walk with me, don't be afraid. Open your heart and see it's how it's meant to be. You say you see no light, do you? Don't you worry, the sun is going to shine. One day you rule the world, my child. raise your hand and don't you cry.
شخصيات مختلفة بس الاشي واحد، عيون مختلفة وفيش حدا ساعد حدا، والكل بس لمصلحته. يعني بكسب الدنيا إذا ذبحته. لا كلها تساوي، هذا الصح. أعطيني المايك البيت ألح، أكتب كلمة غريبة يمكن مش مفهومة، صعب التعبير بس النغمة حنونة. ولك أنا جيت ابعد يا صف، العالم متخدر زي المدخن 100 بوف. انولدت بين جو خرا كله عنصرية، والمفروض أصف على جهة واحدة هي. يا هادي يا هادي الأصبع الوسطاني للكل، عايش حياتي ما بدي تمييز، كل الطلبه أعيش حياتي. يا لذيذ يا رايق ضلك مصحصح فايق. عيش حياتك عيش حياته، خليني أعيش حياتي.